You guys really got to start going to anime/gaming conventions a lot more often. For you guys that are into those types of things, you have what is called like a nerdy hobby, a nerdy interest. You could like Magic the Gathering or Warhammer 40K, all those different things. If you understand what I'm talking about, then the best places to meet any type of woman that will fit with you is going to be at an anime convention or a gaming convention, or at one of your local card shops, or the place where people play Dungeons and Dragons locally in your area. Those are the places you're going to meet women. You don't want to try to meet normal women if you have these type of hobbies. If you have women that don't have those similar hobbies, your life's probably just going to be a little bit harder. Granted, sometimes you will get with a woman and you could have a relationship, and if your relationship lasts, she will start to take on a lot of some of your hobbies, or she may try some of the things you do, and that may work out too. But if you're just starting from scratch and you're a single guy, go to like a convention. And the reason why I wanted to say that is because even with like the most recent convention that I went to, I thought about this because I know you guys are much younger than me. I'm 36, but look young. And there's women that you can meet in your early 20s. You're probably in your early 20s based on what YouTube says my audience is. They're probably in your 20s, and you probably want to meet women that are in their 20s, or they were even a little bit lower, like 19, 18, 19, 20. Those women too, depending on your age, because I even coached a guy he was 18 years old that watched this channel. So that's why I'm telling you that even guys that want to find other women that are 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, I meet them all the time by accident. And that's what I was going to tell you here, is with the last convention I went to, I remember running into at least two women that stuck out to me where we had conversations. And yes, it is a little bit easier for me because I do have a talent, and that talent is playing Pump It Up on the arcade machine. But the goal here is to explain that if you are into gaming, I've met other women by just sitting down at an arcade cabinet at an anime convention and finding out that she just liked the same game that I liked, or she likes fighting games too. Or even if we don't talk about fighting games, we might start talking about anime and like what brought us to the convention, or we can talk about different cosplays that we've been seeing, or the cosplay that she's wearing. And this will spark a conversation where if you have good enough verbal skills, then they may build a connection with you, and you can see where things go from there. But for me, like in this last convention, I was waiting to play the Pump It Up arcade machine, and if I can find a video of what it looks like, I'm gonna share it here in the video. It's a dancing machine that you've seen before, and it's the one where you step on the pads. Some people call it Dance Dance Revolution, and that is almost the same game, but that's just the Americanized version. Pump It Up is the Korean version that has 8 more Asian music on the game, and the steps are a little bit different. Okay, so that's enough background. Anyway, I'm waiting in line to play the game, and while I'm waiting in line, there's this cute girl in front of me, and it was a white girl. She was wearing glasses, dressed up in some kind of cosplay. I didn't really understand what she was. It looked like a twist between some type of fairy and something from Sword Art Online, but it probably was from an anime I just didn't know about. And she had a group of her friends with her. They were all cosplayed in similar cosplays, but the cosplays looked really good. They looked like they had a good bit of detail into them, so I knew they were really nerdy. However, she wasn't like a nerdy girl that was ugly and socially awkward. She was definitely very, very cute and friendly, just like what you would expect to meet if you were looking for a woman to date. You want them to be cute, so they have the looks, and then they also have a friendly attitude, their demeanor, and they can hold a conversation. So as we were waiting, I started talking to her, and then I watch her play and her friends, and then I go up next and I play, and I stay humble. I don't say anything about how good I am, but I play and I'm really good at the game. And after I'm done, her and her friends kind of cheer me on a little bit, congratulate me on doing well at the game, and I say thank you. And then me and her we continue talking a little bit, and she says, I'm here. Started with, she asked, do I play a lot? And I said, yeah, I've been playing for a while now. And then she was like, okay. And she was like, I don't mind you going next if you want. And I said, why is that? She said, I'm going to be here all night. And I said, really? I said, are you working at the convention? Are you just staying out real late? And she was like, yeah, I'm trying to stay out as late as possible. I'm trying to enjoy myself. I'm trying to have a good time. She's like, I'm here on a little break from college, and I just want to have fun. So right there, that let me know, okay, cool. This girl she just wants to have fun, and that was cool. We chatted just a little bit more after that, and then we both kind of continued to play. And she went on and did her other thing with her friends at the convention. And fast forward to later than that convention, because I didn't get into conversations about her age or anything more personal than that, other than she was in college and she was just trying to enjoy herself. I heard a conversation where she was on the phone, and it was kind of funny to me. She was on the phone, and then she was talking to her mom, because I heard her say at the end of the conversation it was her mom. She was basically saying, yeah, we're here, and what time are you coming? And basically what happened is the mom was calling, confirming with them they were still at the convention and having a good time. And then she was basically telling them that she was going to come pick them up around like 9:30 at night, versus where before she was telling me that she was planning to be there until like 2 in the morning, until like basically everything shuts down. And I just realized, I was like, oh man, so this girl is actually pretty young. And that's when I realized, okay, so she has to be like 19, 20, or something like that. So eventually we line back up, and we end up talking again through the line to play Pump It Up, because I mostly just kept to myself after that. And after we lined back up, we started talking about I asked her something about being in college. I said, oh, you go to college around here or something like that in North Carolina? And she was like, yeah. She was like, I go to college. I said, oh, okay. I said, oh, how old are you? And she was just like, I'm 20. And I was surprised, because I hadn't really thought about it. But yeah, I was like, I guess this is what they look like. I don't really think about it too much anymore, because there's been plenty of situations where I have dated women around that age, even though I'm in my 30s. And so it just didn't mean much, but it was surprising to see, oh wow, this girl's 20. And she was so shocked to hear my age. I was like, oh yeah, I'm about like 15 years older than you, 16 years older than you. And she was like, oh wow, I would have never guessed. And I said, yeah. So then there was another woman that I met there. Same situation, same video game, same convention. Okay, so my phone ended up overheating because of the sun, which is the reason why I film a lot of my videos in my car anyway, because I try to go outside when it's nice and do a video for you guys, but the sun overheated my phone, shut off my camera. I don't even remember where I left off with the story, but we're gonna start with the second girl that I met at the convention. She was in line waiting to play Pump It Up, and I like to play where I use up both pads at the same time. I know it's a little technical to explain it, but anyway, she saw me and she wanted to go also, because it's a very long line. The game is very popular. There's tons of arcade games. I actually do have a video of somebody playing the game now I think about it. So I'm going to show you here what it looks like. This is 4 people playing at one time, but usually you're going to have about 2 people playing, 1 on each side. So she asked if she can go up with me. She was like, hey, I want to go up there and play with you at the same time, if you don't mind. And I said, sure. And I didn't start too much conversation, but she kept conversation going. She said, when we get up there, you aren't going to embarrass me, are you? I said, no, not at all. She was like, do you know how to play? I said, yeah, I've played for a few years. And I said, what about you? She said, yeah, I know how to play, but I'm not that great. I was just saying, I just don't want you to get up there and then you're like all amazing and stuff. And I said, no, no worries. So then me and her, we get on the game. We start playing. And I let her pick the first song because you get to play 3 songs total for your whole playthrough. So I let her pick the first song. And then we played through it. We chat a little bit in between the songs. And then I pick my song. And she says, oh, you can pick another one. She's like, I'm trying to get used to some new music. Which is always a good sign because in general, when women just kind of follow your lead and they look like they're willing to just do what you like to do what you want to do, and that usually is a form of flattery, or they just like to accept leadership from a man. And I'm not thinking of it that deeply, but I'm just saying, looking back at it now, that's a clear sign there, because she's like, I just want to learn some new music, so whatever you pick, I'll try it out and I'll see what I think about it. I wanted to play new songs, so I pick another song. We play again. She was like, oh, well, thank you for playing with me. She was all happy, joyful. This was another young white girl, and it was just a good experience overall. And I said thank you and all that stuff. And then I think she put up her hand for a high five or something like that. And she was like, it was great playing with you. And then we kind of walked off and did our own thing. She went to go hang out with her friends, and I continued to play Pump It Up and meet other people, which I ended up meeting guys there too, like just cool guys. Because it's not, for me, I'm not out here looking to just, oh, women. It's really people just socializing and doing things that you love, enjoying your hobbies, meeting people that love the same thing. It makes conversations very easy, very chill. So I stayed there for like another hour, taking some breaks here and there, walking around the rest of the convention, doing some other things, getting some water, just seeing what else is going on. And I come back and I start waiting in line again. That same girl that I danced on the pads with at the same time, she comes back, because I never really got her name at that time. I didn't think about it. And she came back, and then she asked me, she said, so you're still playing? And then I said, yeah. And then I asked her where she went, where would she go and do around the convention. And we had a conversation. She was with her friend, and I'm talking to her while she's with her friend, just asking them, like, what else did they do around the convention? What else are they getting into? And then she told me about the other events. We were talking about the Truth or Dare. That's an 18 and up event, because they have a lot of adult events late at night. And so she was telling me that she was interested in going to the 18 plus Truth or Dare. And then I was like, oh yeah, I was planning to go to that too. And she's like, yeah, they do some really crazy stuff in there. And she was really excited. And once again, it's all these signs that if you're looking for some type of woman that's into like some fun stuff, also they're into nerdy stuff. She was into cosplay as well. So just like the first girl I told you about, this second girl, she was in a cosplay that I did not understand either. I didn't know what cosplay it was. So that lets me know they're probably in deeper than I am when it comes to the nerd culture, the anime culture, the whatever, the gaming culture they're part of. They were actually really good. They knew how to play Pump It Up, and both girls had cosplays that I wasn't even sure where it even came from. And so while I was talking to this girl, she was just like, I'm curious, by the way, how long have you been playing Pump It Up? And I said, I've been playing it for a long time. I said, it's been years. And I said, what about you? And she said, I only been playing for about, she said, like 5 years, ever since I was like 16. And I was like, what? Or she said something like that. She said, I've been playing it for like 5 years, ever since I was 15 or something like, yeah, she said ever since I was 15. And I'm like, hold up. And then I was like, oh, okay, well then you definitely don't want to know how long I've been playing. And she was like, really? She was like, how long? I said, I literally been playing this game for 15 years. She was like, what? How? I was just like, well, I mean, I've been playing it since I was in high school. That's all I could say. And it's been 15 years. And then I guess that's when she realized, oh, wow, this guy is in his 30s, or he's older than what I thought. And then the whole time, without us knowing each other's age, this is the point I'm making, is that we were able to get along, have conversations, everything. We had things enough in common that we could have good conversation, even as far as discussing the events at the convention. I took out my schedule and I started looking at some of the events, and we were discussing some of the other events that were going on for the rest of the night and which ones we might go to, and some of the same ones that we might go to at the same time. And none of this ever mattered as far as what the age was, but at least she, of course, was of a legal age. She was past 18, or she was 18 or higher, just like the other girl. And the point of the whole video is just explaining with just 2 interactions that I had that I'm explaining, because there's more and more stories, but the video can't go on forever. But this is the point I was trying to make, is that you guys that are really into all of this stuff, like gaming, anime, all this pop culture, Star Wars, these people that go to the conventions are into the same stuff. And so the best bet for meeting others that are into the same thing is going to be going here, because outside of that, you're not going to meet these women anywhere else. They're not going to be going to you're not going to be running into them in the grocery store and talking to them, because one, you or her may not even go to the grocery store like that. You could be ordering groceries or something by now, I don't know. But the general idea is put yourself into environments with other people. So you do have to be somewhat social. You can't be, well, I'm just an introverted guy and I like to meet a girl, because girls don't typically, even though they can be shy as well, they are more social either way. And so you have to have some form of being able to converse with others and kind of put yourself out there a little bit, because even the shy ones are going to go to the conventions and they may not talk or meet a lot of people, but you could be one of those ones that they meet and you hit it off and you realize you do have a lot of things in common, where you are a bit shy too, or you are a bit introverted too, but you had enough confidence or you had enough of the ability to speak that you were able to build a relationship with her or with any woman that you meet there. Plus, like I said, you could just meet other guys that are cool. In general, just stay social and be willing to meet other people. But this is the way you're going to do it. Nerds, guys, go to more anime conventions.